On to you, crabs out here. So you have the 6 of Michael, the 2 of Raphael, and then you crabs also have the 4 of Michael. So these three, these three, excuse me, these 3 cards right here for you, crabs. Interesting. Either someone crashed out and said that they like you, or they want to get to know you. If they didn't say that they like you, then they're trying to get to know you, or you may have done that to somebody else. The 6 of Michael, the 2 of Raphael, and the 4 of Michael. This person feels safe around you, or you may feel safe around them. And so because of that, um, you crabs actually feel like if it's them to you, right, they may feel like they want to be with you because they feel so safe around you, and that how loving you crabs are, and how considerate you crabs can be. If it's you to them, then essentially, like I said, it's the same thing from you to them. You like them, and you may feel safe around them, right? They may really understand you, and in order to, for any of the cross watchers, and let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section, but in order to be in a relationship with you crabs, a successful one that is, the person is going to have to actually really know you. They're going to have to really, in and out, really get to know you, because um, your emotions can be misinterpreted. And so if a person doesn't know how to identify when you just want to be left alone and let you deal with your own emotional um, disappointments, or your own problem on your own, give you a couple of minutes. A person who is not really trained to understand that, they will think that you crabs are out of your mind, and you're too much all over the place, right? So a person getting to know you it has to happen. It has to be a must. There's no way that a person is going to be with you crabs and they don't really have an in and out understanding of you, because you crabs are essentially, your emotions and your feelings have a huge say so. You crabs are incredibly sensitive, for good and for bad, right? However a person decides to take that, but it is the truth. And a person has to really take the time to understand you. So the 2 of Michael and the Ace of Ariel right here, the two of Michael just speaks to how you crabs ultimately, you are really trying to, how do I say this? The 2 of Michael and the Ace of Michael speaks to how you ultimately are, uh, you want to make sure that the 2 of you don't clash. And so you crabs may even let the, like, you crabs may even have kind of given a person a little bit of a warning that, you are a crab. Obviously, you're not going to trust the person immediately. You do trust them to a certain extent because you're hanging out with them. Says the 3 of Raphael, you're willing to hang out with them. So it's not that you completely mistrust them. It's just that you crabs just are selective about how much you're trusting them, right? But you crabs are pretty much letting them know, like, hey, get to know me. Don't just, if you really like me, get to know me and then decide later on down the road if you want to be with me or not. That's what it is that you crabs are basically telling them. Well, that's how you moving, right? Because a lot of you crabs are self-aware. You understand that, hey, even though you're lovable, everyone is a required, everyone is an acquired taste, not required, an acquired, everyone is an acquired taste. One, just because you crabs may get along with one person doesn't mean that another person will get along with you automatically just because this person got along with you, right? One does not mean the other. Two things can be true at the same time. Two things can also be wrong at the same time. One out of those two things can be right or wrong at the same time, right? So as a result, what I'm trying to say here is you crabs are being quite fair. You don't want them to immediately just look at you and say, oh my God, ay Dios mío, you crabs are so beautiful. And a lot of you crabs usually tend to be very attractive. But then they look at the attractiveness and then they say, okay, well, I'm going to be with you. But then you get into, if you were to get into, when you were younger, you would get into a relationship with them. They're thinking to themselves, oh my gosh, this crab is driving me up the wall. I can't deal with, what does this crab want? I can't do. So you crabs are being quite fair. And so the page of Gabriel and the knight of Raphael right here represents, well, it seems like this person is not shying away from this. They do want to get to know you. They don't care. They do want to get to know you. There is no hesitation on their part where they're like, oh, word, really? You like that? Okay. No, there's a sense of, word, really? Okay, I get to know you. And the divine guidance and the aid of Ariel, there's no real thing about where this is going to go. You crabs just have to essentially stick around and wait to see what happens, basically. You just have to wait to see what happens. Because, you crabs are in a particular situation where, you crabs just got to make sure that, you crabs just got to make sure that, you don't end up missing out on any kind of writing on the wall. You start to see the signs that the person may be a little bit off, and then you ignore the signs that they're off and you get to know them. You still trying to like get to know them and stuff like this, right? Just in case if they're putting on, a kind of a theater act of being someone decent. But as of right now, I'm just seeing the divine guidance, which is to just be patient. Honestly, be patient. Aid of Ariel, and let them be around you. If they want to hang around you, crab, so much, all right, dope. Let them do it. That's amazing. Let them do it. You crabs need a lot more good news. I feel like every time I come up here, not every time, but a lot of times when I come up here, it's about how, you crabs will get to know somebody, but then the person isn't ready for you. And because they're not really ready for you, they just can't handle to be around you and stuff like this. And it's like, you crabs are just like, what's the point sometimes, I'm glad to actually hear that you crabs, finally getting some more good news. Let's clarify the Aid of Ariel. Ace of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Three of Swords, Four of Cups, and then you have the Ten of Cups to clarify the Aid of Ariel, right? Which is like the Eight of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and then Three of Swords. So yeah, so a lot of you crabs are just looking at it like you're not really gonna get your hopes up. Just in case if this person that acts like they like you for now, right? You just don't want to make it a big deal, right? Because you crabs are like, okay, they may like you now, but will they still like you the right way, the correct way, the dignified way later? Or is it going to be something where, like, is it going to be something to a point where it's like, oh, you know, they like you now because you knew and you fly and you look good. But then later on, it's like, oh, like I said, I can't stand you. You're too emotional, right? You're, you know, according to them, right? You're too emotional. You got this going on, that going on. Basically they have to contribute. And then now it's like they don't want to do that. So you crabs are just making sure that you and the other person don't really bump heads, because you're going to continue to work on what you need to. And, you know, maybe this person will try to fit their way into your life, maybe not. And then you have the Four of Cups and the Ten of Cups, which is this person is going to go ahead and try to fit their way into your life, because they're going to contact you if they haven't done it already. They want to get to know you. They want to hang out with you. You know, if you crabs tell them no, they may respect the boundary, but, you know, of course if they're real, you know, they'll respect the boundary. But they just really want to get to know you, crabs, because they like you, you know, and for them, you telling them no would kind of be a disappointment. You know, it's kind of, you know, I'm not even going to speak on that. I'm not even. So let's clarify the divine guidance. You have the Justice, Seven of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and then you have the Judgment to clarify the divine guidance, which would be like the Hierophant, right? And then the Judgment is ironic because it's like the judgment of heaven, right? And then the divine guidance is supposed to represent, you know, like a bishop or something like this, right? Or like the Pope, which is supposed to be, you know, the divine's representative here on earth, or one of them. And so the situation with this is the Justice, the Seven of Swords, and the Knight of Swords is about. So yeah, so like I said before, you crabs are not really putting too much of an emphasis on you and this person. Yeah, maybe the two of you will get together, but I'm just seeing that you crabs are like, you know, you'll go out with them, you'll hang out with them, but if they turn out to be a weirdo, you know, if they turn out to be a weirdo, you're not surprised, you know, nor are you actually going to take it personally, because you didn't really dedicate so much time to it. So a lot of you crabs just want to make sure that you don't end up getting hurt, you know, you don't end up doing what you crabs would probably do back in the day, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, which is for you crabs to essentially like which is like you crabs to dive headfirst in, and then the next thing you know, it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then so the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles and the Judgment right here is about, but you know, at the same time, this person is really trying to get to know you though. You know, obviously I can't speak that far because that's time. But, you know, this person likes you. I don't want to say too much because that's too far along, right? You know, the Ten of Pentacles can represent marriage. So whoa. This person right now is just trying to get into a relationship with you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let's leave the marriage stuff for when things develop. But for right now, they just know that they got to get to know you. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. We at 20,495 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell. Set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos.